called Kevin Rivet is his name, but Rivet up here, had the great Rolly Alla back in the 1980s. The ball is back with St Pat's now, and they're menaced to the ground and put down 10 metres out from their own line centre field, northern end of Carrington Park. They play the ball back now, St Pat's. It comes from Hudson White, and again the defence is solid from the Panthers. They drive them back in the tackle. They're 10 metres out from the goal line. Playing the ball back now is the number 13 for St Pat's, Mick Hawkins. He's 43 years of age, Mick, and still going strong, Mick. They play the ball through the number 17. Now that'll be McCoy White. That's the name, McCoy White. He's a real one, and he's on as a replacement here, the real McCoy.
Oh, he killed him.
For Zach Merritt. They'll play it 30 metres out from their own line now. So the St Pat's team there, they play it back. Penalty in the first set of 6. The penalty comes the way of the Bathurst St Pat's. I don't know how long the ground announcer is going to keep going, but it'd be handy if he'd shut up. Anyway, here we are finding touch.
Look, you know how Luke Brannigan's a mate of Piggies. I think he's modelled his figure on Piggy. He's looking more and more like Piggy. He's morphed into Piggy now.
I looked for the number 6 who's got the ball now, Brannigan, and I thought that can't be him, it's a front rower. He's the biggest 5'8" in history. He's got thighs bigger than Piggy's, Luke Brannigan, but he's a very good player. They play the ball back now to Nick Lader. Lader comes away on the outside. They go straight and hard through the front rower. Dane Thorogood for the, Jack Mackey now for St Pat's. They'll play the ball back 41 metres out from the line. Later again, the pass comes away to the number 17, McCoy White, and McCoy White's held on the tackle, back slammed there by the number 10, Dane Thorogood. He'll play the ball about 32 metres out from the goal line. Later goes blindside. Oh, the big ball back on the inside from the captain coach of the centre 3/4 this time. It came from Brannigan back to Mitch Squires, who's playing at left centre. Now the ball comes away on the outside, and the big number 10, Jack Mackey, goes for a little gallop. He's only 12 metres out. 5th tackle against Bathurst St Pat's now. They'll play the ball back to Lader. Back to Brannigan. Everything starts and finishes with Brannigan. A little kick in behind them, but beautifully picked up on the goal line, and they streak away now. The Panthers over the 20. They give chase. They look for a quicker player. Basketball's over the top. It's gone to ground, but a half volleyed well by the fullback, and it's gone forward, he says, the referee. He brings them back. The ball had gone to the outside to Josh Rivet. Well, that was very dangerous. I think you'll find the number 6 was the man that picked up the Luke's ball there, Willie Wright. And Willie didn't quite have the pace to go on it. He tried to link up with Josh Rivet, but couldn't get the ball to him. Travelled forward, a scrum will pack down 2 metres on Panthers' side of halfway. On the broadcast or western side of the field, he does everything, Luke Brannigan, even feeds the scrums with the number 6 on.
Jeez, it was a nice run, though, from Willie Wright. Beautifully picked up on his toes, and he took off, and there was no one in front of him. Unfortunately, he didn't have the pace to go on with it. I thought he should have put the boot to ball, actually. I don't know how fast the winger is on his outside, but I think given the fact he's a winger, you would imagine he was pretty quick. He could have got there.
Here's the ball later away on the outside, the number 11 this time, Trey Merritt. Trey Merritt's put down on the tackle, 41 metres out. I've just found out about the ground announcer. Bozo brought Grant Goulburn with him from Brookvale. Here's the ball going blindside. Thanks, Bozo, one of your best.
Do you remember what happened at the wedding?
Don't talk about the wedding, Bob.
Exactly right.
There's some weddings we don't want to talk about, including mine. Here's the ball back away. Put down
You've had 2
of them. You'll be coming to the 3rd. Here's the ball played back away. 35 metres out. Brannigan kicks again, but it's going back away to Rivet. Rivet feels the ball. He brings the ball back now. A little bit of nostalgia I'll get to later in the program. This young fellow, I met him downstairs, Josh Rivet. His grandfather's brother is Kevin Rivet, who trained a 2-year-old champion called Rolly Alla. Would you believe back in 1987, I called the time trial at Harold Park where Rolly Alla broke the world record, and this is how far I've gone. I've gone from calling trotting time trials to calling his great nephew in a game of rugby league in Bathurst 32 years later. Here's the ball, their first real touch here, the Panthers, and they put down the tackle through the second rower. That'll be Blake Seeger. He'll play the ball back. Oh, penalty. They even the penalty count. He said you wouldn't have the tackle player. The referee moves in very quickly, Nathan Blanchard, to adjudicate. And Group 10 action, we've had around about 4 minutes of play. No score on the board here for Lowe's Menswear. And I was in Lowe's Menswear at Bathurst this morning buying some underwear.
Oh,
yes,
why
I
wouldn't
was.
You? It's a magnificent place. This is the first time they've really got the ball in any sort of attacking position here, the Panthers. They look sharp enough when they get it, though.
Here's Nick Loader at acting half. Hudson White's the acting half for St Pat's. Loader's there now. The ball comes away on the outside. They go straight and hard through the number 8. That's Brent Seeger, one of 2 brothers. Blake and Brent are in the team. A lot of imagination shown by the Christian names there, the 2 Bs. It comes away to Seeger again. Then the pass out wide to Braden Wicks, the number 20. He's playing half-back. They've lost the ball backwards, picked up. Referee says knock on against the Panthers. So the first real chance they had, they got within 10 metres of the goal line and they've coughed the ball up. So no score on the board here for Lowe's Menswear.
Yeah, and it was Braden Wicks who got the ball, and he made a reasonable run there, but as he was being lifted in the air, he just tried to pop the ball out the back. It was a bit of an ugly pass, and they just a bit of stacks on the mill, really, and the Panthers knocked it on here, so St Pat's are going to get this 10 metres out from their line.
You wouldn't believe it.
What's happened?
We've even got a monitor in the box, I've just noticed, with a clock
fantastic.
and a score there, 0-all the score, and we've had around 5 minutes of play as obviously St Pat's win the ball. St Pat's put down the tackle now, and they'll play the ball inside the 20 as it comes away on the outside. St Pat's get up towards the 30 before they're put down, and they'll play the ball back just inside the 30-metre line now. The acting half is there. White sends it back away. St Pat's come up over the 30, about 35 out from their own goal line. And they'll play the ball back again. Now the captain coach goes to acting half and kick from inside the 40. Luke Brannigan, Piggy's best mate, who didn't want to know him when I spoke to him earlier. They circle around 10 metres out and bring the ball back, and this is young Josh Rivet. Rivet goes to the defence, almost got through, but he's taken on the tackle by Hudson White, the acting half. He'll play the ball back again. It comes on the outside. This time it's Murphy. Murphy, the winger, got the pass back away to a support player who's up towards the 40. They're about 12 metres short. That was the other winger this time, Adam Booth. Josh Small for the Panthers. Put down on the tackle. He'll play the ball back 2 metres short of the halfway. The acting half again. This time is Nick Later for Panthers. Scurries Nick. He's gone almost through, but he's claimed by Brannigan. Put down on the tackle. He'll play the ball back. Goes on the other side. In fact, it was a number 13 who got him. Mick Hawkins, the 43-year-old, got him and put him down. He'll play the ball back again. It's with St Pat's now. Loader comes on the outside of the 5/8 this time. It's Willie Wright kicking over the top. Goes back away from the winger. He feels it now right on the goal line and put down the tackle. And in fact, Gary Riley, it was the fullback who got across in front of the winger to put the ball down, and he'll play the ball 5 out from his own line. So they come blindside now with the ball, and for a little skirt they go, and St Pat's now put down the tackle about 20 metres out from the goal line. They'll play the ball back, and this time it comes back away. The acting half goes the number 3. He's put down the tackle, and he'll play the ball back for St Pat's. He's got the ball now about 28 metres out from his own line. That was Chris Kirby this time, or I should say this time it was Blake Lawson. Then it comes back the other way and put down on the tackle. Gee, there's a solid tackle there from St Pat's, and put down on the tackle. He'll play the ball back about 31 metres out from the goal line. The acting half is there. The number 8, well, they told me he wasn't playing, Zach Merritt. He's on the field now, so obviously he's playing. So Zach Merritt's out there, comes out wide, quick hands away, came to Riley, the fullback. Back away to him, and he's put down the tackle now. Riley will play the ball back just on halfway. The acting half is there again, the number 9. Hudson White penalty late in the tackle count for leaning into them.
Absolutely, it was really late in the tackle count. It's a bad penalty to give away because they're starting to look dangerous. They're spreading the ball out to the right here. Now, the fullback, it looks to me as though he's playing on the wing here, Ray. Gary Riley for St Pat's.
Yeah, he fielded the ball over in the wing. I thought he might have got across there, but you're right, he's playing on the right wing, the fullback. And I just noticed they told me that Zach Merritt wouldn't play, but there's a number 8 out there for St Pat, so I can only imagine that's who it is, for Panthers, I should say, so that's who it is. So we'll see what happens here. Here's the ball back away, put down the tackle. So I know, I'm right the first time. He's not there, Zach Merritt. It's not him at all. The ball will come back from Hudson White. Hudson White sends it away on the outside of McCoy White. So from the White brothers. Hudson and...
There's a lot of Whites up here.
Well, McCoy.
Well, there's a lot, well, I played with a few Whites at Penrith.
Hudson White sends the ball back away, and again it's McCoy White. It's a McCoy and Hudson White show. And again it comes from Hudson White. Sends the ball back on the inside now. Almost through the tackle, the big number 10, Jack Mackey. He's put down the tackle. He'll play the ball back about 8 metres out from the goal line. Now the ball goes away on the outside of Brannigan. Brannigan, a long pass, onto the chest of the centre. He broke the tackle, and it's Chris Kirby going in for the first try of the match. Chris Kirby, if you've got the first try scorer, you need the number 3, Chris Kirby from St Pat's. It was a beautiful bullet-like pass from Luke Brannigan, and St Pat's will lead by 4-0 for those menswear.
Now that's why he's the captain coach, Luke Brannigan. He's doing all the kicking. What about the vision there? He read it beautifully. And it's a tough pass to throw from left to right, but it hit that player, Chris Kirby, right on the chest. He was in some space. He shrugged off. I think the winger came in to try and rectify the situation there for the Panthers, but he wasn't good enough to do it. And Chris Kirby, wouldn't you be filthy if you've got a double here, Ray, and you had number 4? Because they changed jumpers just before the start of the game. And he's now wearing number 3, Chris Kirby, but he took it beautifully. That's a great pass from the captain, Coach Brannigan, and puts him over. Good try.
So first blood goes the way of St Pat's in the local derby Anzac Day. The kick will come from Trey Merritt. Let me tell you a bit about Trey Merritt from St Patrick's, because they've done...
I like the name Trey.
Yeah, no, but it's spelled T-R-A-E, I think.
No.
But anyway, Trey, younger brother of Zach, New South Wales Indigenous rep player, won a premiership with the Forbes Magpie in 2016. A goal-kicking back rower, is a local builder. So if you want any building out at Bathurst, go and see this young bloke. He's a good builder, they tell me.
No, builders are important.
Trey Merritt. They build things. Here's the kick. Well, he's a good builder, but he's a shocking goal kicker. He's missed the upright.
got nothing as a goal kicker.
Chuck Fulton's in the background now down the sideline.
Hey, Ray, I'm back.
Heck, it's good to see you, Chuck.
Yeah, good stuff. Up here, Bathurst.
That's how everyone else in Australia says
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Bathurst. They don't say
Bathurst,
Bathurst.
I know.
Anyway, here's the kickoff coming from Josh Rivet now. It's funny, you know, when his great uncle trained Rolliella, he was always Kevin Rivet, and now I met the young bloke, he said, now my name's Rivet. Wish I'd have met him 32 years ago, which would have been hard given he's 21.
I think Rivet sounds classy.
Yeah, no, Rivet, he said. Rivet it is. So now they have the ball through Hudson White this time, the Bathurst and Pats. Put down on the tackle is Trey Merritt, the goal-kicking builder. He'll play the ball back now inside the 30. Then the pass comes away on the outside. The big number 30. Oh, go, Mick! Oh, you know what I love. I love the pensioners playing the game. Mick Hawkins.
Oh,
he's only 20 years younger. Well, he's only 20 years younger than me.
Oh,
There's hope
give
for
him a
old
go.
people. Now, this is going to be a great... Oh, gee, that's
a good catch,
take.
that.
Josh Rivet.
Yeah.
He's got across there and fielded the kick downfield, which came from Brennigan, but he's monstered in a tackle by two defenders who got there quickly. Brent Dennis is one of them. And the number 17 is McCoy White. I love that name, McCoy White.
Playing well, McCoy
If I have
White.
another son, I'll call him McCoy.
Really?
I think it's gone past you, Ray.
I think it'll be a McMiracle.
What about McCoy Rivet?
Here's the ball coming away on the outside. The number 9, Nick Lader. And they're now trailing 4-0. That's for Lowe's Men's West. And Pats are leading 4-0 over the Panthers. They give the ball some space. It goes out wide to the number 3. Oh, holding the ball out in front of him. Round the corner. Got a good offload back to Josh Small, the number 3, Blake Lawson. Now they go through centre field and they're throwing the ball about nicely. The halfback has put down Braden Wicks. Now they go blindside. The pass comes away on the outside again to the winger. And that's Josh Small put down the tackle. It's a changeover. So they succumb to the tackle without putting it in the air, and the changeover comes 20 metres out from the St Pat's line, over that eastern touch line, about 2 or 3 metres in from touch, and they run from acting half. That was better play by the St Pat's.
Yeah, it was.
By the Panthers, I should say.
It was better play. There was good Blake Lawson. What about the ball he threw? But it's just bad game awareness there. It was the last tackle. I don't think they knew, and they just succumbed meekly and really gave the ball up around the 30-metre line here for the St Pat's side.
You know, Darryl, one of the things we've noticed when we've done these country rugby league, I know it's not as quick as what we're used to the NRL, but by gee, that's tough, isn't it? They really are physical, these young
You know,
fellas.
the other thing I've noticed, Ray, how much I enjoy one referee being on the field.
Yeah.
You know, I know, geez, he must have kicked about 10 times already. That's a good kick too.
Luke
from
Brannigan.
Brannigan. You can just see his class.
Well, you know what? He's kicked that from 30 out, and it's on the
he's
goal
down
line.
there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the first man there. He doesn't make the tackle. One player got in front. There was a bit of a leg pull there, and it was by Jordan. Now, that's a really silly thing to do, Jordan, because your captain coach put you on the attack, and he just couldn't help himself, grabbed the player by the leg and pulled him apart. And so the kick is negated now because they'll find touch on that eastern touch line here at Carrington Park, way upfield, and it's going to be the halfback, Braden Wicks. It's a sad day when your halfback won't fit into a jumper in number 7. You've got to put him in number 20.
Doesn't look that big, though. Maybe the halfback jumper's really small.
Compared to who? Compared to Luke Brannigan?
It doesn't look that
He's a
chubby.
solid boy. Look at his legs. They're like tree trunks.
He doesn't wear the jumper over his legs.
We've got to get it on somehow. From acting half they go, and this time it is the number 9.
Put over your head.
Nick Lader put down. Plays it out the back, comes up to the number 10 this time. He's put down the tackle. It's Dane Thorogood for the Panthers. He'll play the ball 35 out. They're down by 4-0. St Pat's lead the way for Lowe's Menswear. Now the ball comes away on the outside. The number 12 with it. Blake Seeger, he's put down on the tackle. There's no one dominating the game like the captain coach from Bathurst and Pats at the moment. Dougie Hewitt, their captain coach, is out injured. Oh, they've lost the ball and knocked it on here. And it's going to be picked up immediately by St Pats who go on the attack through the builder. Trey Merritt, he's put down about 11 metres short of halfway. That was just silly stuff. That was zero tackle. It comes back to the halfback. Tim Holman, he's put down on the tackle. St Pat's on the attack now, but they're still 9 metres short of halfway. And I think Tim may have been injured.
Here.
Yeah, they've a bit of attention called. The Blake Lawson, the Panthers centre, is worried about him, and he called the referee over immediately. And the Zambucks on the field now. I was talking about Zambucks the other day. When the great Noel Kelly was, of course, a coach at North Sydney, he employed a mate of mine these days called Gary Lawler, the governor as he's known, to be his trainer. He was a publican at the Commodore Hotel, had no training at all back in the 70s in terms of that. Barry Wood got injured playing for the great North Sydney side up at Penrith. So the governor ran on and started pumping him because he thought he was winded.
Yeah,
He put 3 ribs through his lung. B. Wood ended up in the Pean Hospital in critical care. Things have changed a lot since Governor was allowed loose. That was when they came on the field base in your time with a sponge.
He's Wayne Beavers' mate, the governor.
That's him.
That's
Same
him.
bloke.
Yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah, Beavers
I've heard
has
that
said,
story.
if I look crook, don't let him resuscitate me. And Barry Wood won't go near him anymore, the governor, since he tried to resuscitate him with a... But that was the governor.
Been around a while, the governor, hasn't he?
The governor?
Yeah.
He's 77.
Okay.
He's still
You
punching.
play golf with him?
No, he doesn't play golf. He's. I just keep him company up there on the Gold Coast when I go up. Now, this young bloke's been...
Yeah.
He might have popped the shoulder here, Darryl, the way
Yeah, he
to
might
hold
have. It doesn't look good, does it?
Yeah.
It's his left.
By the way, the Bathurst Mayor's here, Graham Hanger. I speak to Graham regularly on the morning show.
G'day, Graham.
G'day, Graham. Good to see you. I think he wants to give the keys to the city.
What is that? I'm going home straight away afterwards.
Take the city with you.
Don't worry about it, Graham. I'll be right. Have you got a McDonald's on the way?
The city doesn't own McDonald's.
Well, must own something.
He's a good man, Graham.
He's coming off this young bloke. This doesn't look good for him. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
might have. Well, I don't want to alarm anyone, but it doesn't look good for his left arm.
They heard something go, and whether it's his shoulder popped or maybe a fracture in the lower part of the arm, but he's coming off. That's for sure and certain.
Does Graham know Thirsty?
Graham Hanger?
Yeah.
For sure. Knows the family particularly well.
Of course.
David Howard, the number 16, is coming on for St. Pat's, and the young halfback, unfortunately, won't be taking part in proceedings as the trainers come off, and he'll be greeted by the medical staff. Now, the coach is at the moment out in the field, so he'll shuffle them up, no doubt. The number 10 takes it forward, Jack Mackey now, and they still lead here. That's St. Pat's after about 40 minutes of play by 4-0. 4-0 is the score for Lowe's Menswear. The big number 7. Oh, they line up there. Mickey Hawkins, and he filled every one of those 43 years that they rattled him up. The 2 defenders, crikey, they put a hit on him. He gets up strongly, Mick, and plays the ball back. Over the top, Brannigan. That's a beautiful pass. Goes on the outside. The number 4 sent it out wide. Squires, they're down the touchline. The winger's going to send a dummy, and he's going to score a try. Brilliant stuff, Jordan Naylor. He threw a dummy on the inside. He should have been covered, and they fell for the dummy. And the funny thing was there was no one to pass it to.
There wasn't, but you know what, geez, he showed some pace. It was a beautiful ball that instigated it. Once again from Luke Brannigan, got it on the outside, I think to Mitch Squires. He then drew a man and threw it to his winger, Jordan Naylor. He had a bit to do, Naylor. First of all, he had to outpace the cover defence. He did that. Then when the fullback loomed up, exactly what you said, Ray, threw a big dummy on the inside. There was no one there. And he just, he outpaced, got around the fullback and scored in the corner. That's a tremendous try.
Well, they've never won the Anzac Trophy, but they're leading by 8-0 now. It's been in vogue for 4 years. Every one it's been won by Bathurst Panthers. And as we get to the 25-minute mark, 25 to go in this first half, the St. Pat's from Bathurst lead the Bathurst Panthers by 8-0 with a kick to come from old mate Trey Merritt over on that eastern touchline. But the difference here is Luke Brannigan.
Yeah.
I mean, Doug Hewitt is the captain coach of Panthers. He's out busted. He can't play. But that's the difference. I mean, Brannigan's just showing all... I'd say this, that Brannigan's in better form now at 37 than Piggy was at the peak of his career.
Well, he's playing well. I mean, he's just classy.
I think there could be an approach to Piggy. We can do, or you can do it, Ray.
Yeah,
Right? You tell Piggy
bigger.
he's got to come up and do a cameo appearance next year.
Exactly.
No, captain coach the Panthers.
No.
Yeah. Well, can't get rid of
Can
Dougie.
move up here.
He's got a 2-year contract. Can't get rid of Dougie.
Yeah, we're not going to pay people.
Well, you know what's going to happen with contracts, right?
Here's Trey Merritt. Moves into it now. Hit the upright and it's over. What a great kick. Hit the right-hand upright, went over the crossbar, and it is now 10-0. So a handy lead being experienced here by Bathurst and Pats over the Panthers by 10-0 on the back of 2 great pieces of work by Luke Brannigan setting up tries. I'm just thinking whether, in fact, it was the number 4 or the number 3. They've changed jumpers anyway. It was either Kirby or Squires who took the pass and gave it on to Jordan Naylor, who streaked away. Great work.
Who's favourite? So the favourite in this game, given the fact that the Panthers have always won, are they favourites in this game?
No, because they've only had 1 win and 1 bye to be on
Right.
4.
Okay.
But St. Pat's are unbeaten, as I understand it. They've had 2 wins so far. We're into round 3. Anyway, here they go this time through Mickey Hawkins, the 43-year-old from Layla Park, Doonside, Hills Bulls.
I thought he just had his hair cut short, but I think he's just bald.
Here's the ball going away on the outside, and there's a great grassing tackle by the number 6, and that is Willie Wright. And that was on St. Pat's. They come blindside now, the number 16 with it. That's Dave Howard, who came on for the halfback. Dave Howard with the ball now 31 metres out from his own line. He's held in the tackle now by Kevin Murray. He's playing at left centre, Kevin. Now the ball back away to White, and that's the acting half, Hudson White. And they have the ball. He gave it again to his brother. They seem to work in tandem, McCoy White. Now, here's Brannigan again. Gee, he can kick the football. and it's gone straight down the throat of the winger on the far side, the number 5, Josh Small. He brings it back to halfway. They really need to score because they've had precious little football, and when they've had it, they put it down. It's Josh Rivet from acting half. He's hit hard in the tackle, 45 out from the St Pat's line in centre field. He'll play the ball back to the winger, Lewis Murphy. He'll go for a little run there, Lewis from acting half, taking the pressure off the forwards. There's Grant Goldman again. They'll play the ball back 31 out from the goal line as it comes from Loader. Away on the outside, put down is Brent Seeger. He will play the ball back, Seeger. Loader again. The pass comes on the outside. Inside ball back away to the number 11, and that's Jack Seiger. He's put down the tackle. Picked up by Loader. Dashes from acting half. Little kick. Oh, it's a shocking kick by the little acting half, Nick Loader, who went straight into the waiting arms of a bloke standing on the goal line. I think he should have given us more. He had support on the right.
Yeah, I agree. It was a good run and a quick play of the ball from Jack Seiger. I think they've got the ability to get right back in this game. There's no doubt about that. But they're just not icing the important moments, are they?
Well, that's twice they've been inside the opposition 10. They dropped the ball the first time, and the second time he's kicked it straight to the defending player on his own goal line. It bounced up straight into his breadbasket. Anyway, here's the ball coming back, and it'll be Brannigan throwing the ball out wide this time. They have the ball. That'll be the big number 16 bouncing away from the defenders. Look at him go before he's put down now. David Howard, he'll play the ball back. It's the number 5 who sent it, Adam Booth, back on the outside. There's Brannigan again. Deft little kick over the top, finding space. Now, that's a remarkable kick because he kicked it between the winger and the fullback, and the number 5's got to go back for Josh Small and pick it up almost on his own goal line before he's put down by Mitch Squires. And it was Squires that sent the pass because he's on that left-hand side, as you say, Darryl. Here's the ball back away to the fullback, Josh Rivet, for the Panthers. He's put down. Go Josh as a cheer in the background. The crowd are here. Play the ball back. The acting half is there. It's 10 points to Nilsson. Pat's leading the way over the Bathurst Panthers, and we still have about 22 minutes of the first half remaining. Again, Loader sends the ball back away. They go straight and hard. That's the big front rower going forward now. He's put down on the tackle. He'll play the ball back, penalty, and a very important one for a leg pull there against St Pat's and going the way of Panthers. As a result, though, fine touch upfield. So that's a good one for them. Dane Thorogood was the man that made the run and was put down and had the leg pull as he tried to play it. Now, they're only 42 metres out. This is a really good chance with 6 tackles in hand to advance the football up the other end. They play the ball back. It comes from Loader. Straight and hard the centre this time. That's Blake Lawson. He bounced away from him. He got the ball back on the inside of Loader. Loader got the ball back away, and this time it's going for the line, stepping, dancing, 10 metres out, Rivet. He's put down the fullback, Josh Rivet. He'll play the ball 8 metres away from the goal line. Loader goes to acting half. He's there, Loader. Looks to get the ball out wide. They come back on the inside. The ball is almost lost, but it's held now by the 5/8. He's put down really right. He'll play it to Loader. They come back to the blind side. They're over the line. Can they get it down? The referee has a look. That's a try.
Yep.
10-4, big buddy, for Wickham Freight Lines, even though they're no longer a sponsor. 10 points to 4 it is, and it's St Pat's leading the way of the Panthers, and the Panthers score adjacent to the post, and that was on the back of a great run on the far side by the centre.
Blake Lawson, I think it was, who made the run. He's done some very good things in this game already, Blake Lawson, and he looks a quality player on that right side. I'm just trying to see who scored the try. I think it was one of the back rowers, big, tall, blonde thing he was.
Seiger, I think.
Was it Seiger? Yeah.
I think it was the number 11.
Well, he looks a decent player as well, but it was on the back of a great run from Blake Lawson. Not only can he make breaks, he's got a nice offload in him as well, and he hit a player there. The ball eventually got to Rivet, who looks dangerous every time he gets the ball. Quick play of the ball. They ran across field, brought Seiger back on the inside. He's just too big and powerful for them. Scores near the post. He probably should knock this over, the 5'8", Willie Wright, so put him right back in the game.
You know who's getting dudded today as far as sponsors are concerned?
Who?
The video replay for Coates Hire. Let's make it happen. Let's pretend there was a video replay there. And yes, the video replay for Coates Hire shows the try scorer, Jack Seiger, and as a result, the kicker goal from inside the post will come from the number 6, Willie Wright. And of course, Lowe's Menswear bringing the scoreboard, which is 10-4, big buddy at the moment. St Pat's over the Panthers.
I'm giving this to Willie. I think he'll kick this.
Right.
Have
you ever seen him kick before?
No, but he looks stylish. I've put it down here already. It's 10-6, big buddy.
No, that's 10-4, big buddy. There's no big buddy with 10-6. He's not a truckie. Ever since he got Brawongle right, he just seems to be one over the top.
Confident now.
He's on a roll.
I'm confident.
Yeah, let's see whether the confidence is there. Right, beautiful kick.
Black dot.
Straight between the uprights. And the score is 10-6.
He's a good kicker. He's a good kicker, Willie Wright.
Doesn't Hadley love a 10-4 score line?
He's been living off of a 30.
Yeah,
What I wanted to do.
Yes,
They won't let me do it on Channel 9. Matter of fact, they won't let me score the games on Channel 9.
You still get paid for it?
We're back. We come to the centre of halfway.
Mick Hawkins is off race, just going to the retirement village.
On you, Mick. I tell you what, I'd like to be as fit as he is when I was 43. Unbelievable. Here's the ball going deep. It's taken by the big winger, Josh Small, and they'll bring the ball back. Geez, they're willing, these blokes. I'm talking about both sides, the Panthers and St Pat's, and it's 10-6 St Pat's leading the way for Lowe's menswear as the number 10, Dane Thorogood, plays the ball back. We've got the number 16 on the field now, James Higgins. He's put down on the tackle. He's got headgear on. He'll be easy to see. James.
George Thorogood, the singer? Is that
yes,
George Thorogood?
Yeah, George Thorogood, yeah.
Some
No
good
relation.
songs, I can't remember them.
The number 8 takes it up now, Brent Seeger. No relation to Bob. They'll play the ball back now, speaking of singers. They go blindside loader, and now they go forward. That's the number 11, the try scorer, Jack Seiger. There's Seigers, there's Seegers, they're everywhere here. They play the ball back. The kick downfield from the number 20, Braden Wicks. That's a good-looking kick. It's gone back there for the winger. Now, Adam Booth, I think, is playing fullback from what I can see. He's gone back to fullback, Adam Booth. And I'm just looking to see whether the big number 1's still out there who came onto the right wing, and that would be Gary Riley. Anyway, they'll play the ball back here as the tackle is affected on Jordan Naylor for St Pat's. They still lead by 10 points to 6 with about 18 to go to half time. And they'll bring the ball back away. 35 out from their own line, St Pat's. They play it in centre field here. Group 10 from Bathurst, we're calling in Country Rugby League. Brannigan sent the ball out wide. He's been a bit quiet lately, Luke, over the last 5 or 6 minutes or so. They haven't had as much football. He can't be quite as dominant. Brent Dennis plays the ball back. They go blindside the number 16s with it. David Howard, he's put down the tackle right on halfway for St Pat's. They still lead by 10-6 for Lowe's menswear in the Group 10 from Bathurst on 95.1. Now the ball goes back away on the 5th tackle. There's a kick which is probably his worst of the day from Brannigan. It's gone straight down the throat of the winger on the far side. I think that's Josh Small who'll bring the ball back and put down the tackle 12 short of halfway. That was a bit of a tired looking kick there from Luke.
He looks tired, doesn't he? He's had a big first half. He's been involved in everything good that they've done there, the St Pat's side.
So what he reminds me of, Piggy on a Friday night after he's done the breakfast shift and backs up to call the 7:30 game.
I've got to say, he does look like the pig.
They'll play I tell you, he can play the football. Blake Lawson.
Oh, he's off again.
Yeah, well, what he did, he must have big hands. He holds the ball out one-handed, and they all drop off him, and he makes ground. He's up to the 20 now. They'll go blindside through the fullback, and that this time is Rivet. The ball back to Loader. Loader's going to try and give it some air. He's in centre field. I tell you what, he's not very big, this kid, Nick Loader, but by gee, he goes hard for the Panthers. Now the ball comes away on the outside. They're with it. It comes out deep now to Willie Wright. He dummied, threw a dummy back on the inside, away from 2, 3. They're looking for an obstruction. No roll. Got the ball back away. They're under the post. No forward pass. He's called them back. Big Dane Thorogood, George's cousin, was under the post, and they called him back for a forward pass. There was probably an obstruction there as well, but doesn't matter. No try.
Yeah, what happened? The captain put his hands in the air, Luke Brannigan. Yeah, it's not me, champion. Put his hands in the air and said, there was obstruction.
He's communicating with people through the glass.
Well, he showed me a photo of a bloke who looked like me, and I just said, no, it's not me. Anyway, but Luke Brannigan, what's he doing? Time off? I thought he was putting someone in the bin.
No, time off.
What's that for?
What, eh?
I don't know why.
Can you go back to what the bloke's doing at the window while you're trying
Well, he showed me a photo of a bloke who looked like me, good-looking fat bloke with a moustache. And I said, no, it's not me, champion.
Which he couldn't hear, and the people who can hear don't know what you're talking
well,
about.
If he's listening, he would have heard.
How's he listening? He's got a headset on.
Wireless.
What, he's got
implants.
Oh, I see. They're doing that in Bathurst now, aren't they?
Of course they are.
Oh, good.
Anyway, it's tired. There's a player down. That's the reason they're having a little resty poo here. It might even be that good centre, Blake Lawson, over there.
I can assure our listeners on 2BS 95.1 FM in Bathurst, they're not implanting, although the mayor might be into that, vote for Graham, vote for Graham, vote for Graham. He might be doing that up here.
I know, he's got Thirsty's vote. Thirsty loves him.
Exactly.
Well, he's not voting for Bill.
Is Royce George around here? You seen, Royce George? It's a mate of Thirsty.
Listen, I know this will come as a shock to you. No one can hear Graham. No one knows who you're talking to. Will you wake up yourself?
I'm sorry, Thirsty told me to say hello to Royce George, but I don't know who he is.
Well, take your headsets off and have a yarn to him, all right? And
well, that's Graham.
I know it's Graham, but no one can hear what Graham's saying, and no one knows what you're saying and who you're talking to. Find out where Royce George is, okay? And then we can explain who Royce George is and why you're asking the Mayor of Bathurst where he is. And what Thirsty's got to do with it. He'd be very unhappy. Thirsty's horse Chalmers went like a busted in the races at Hawkesbury.
Yeah, but he had an excuse.
What was it?
He doesn't like it on the inside, getting a gun run.
What, third the fence is not the game.
Yeah, it's not his game.
Any
Likes
horse
to
I've
get the
ever
outside.
owned, I don't want him 5 deep, I want him on the fence running third.
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
Anyway, whoever it was injured, and I think you're right, it was one of the centres out there on the right-hand side. He's okay. But they get the ball back now, St Pat's. They still lead by 10 points to 6, and that's for Lowe's Menswear. And we still have about 14 and a half to go here. Beautiful day, not too hot, about 16, 17 degrees at Bathurst, and brilliant sunshine as the ball comes back away and put down on the tackle now. It's against St Pat's, about 22 metres up the round line, and they've just slowed up a little as Trey Merritt plays the ball. Then it comes back on the outside of the number 17, McCoy White. He's bouncing away from players McCoy before he's put down, still 22 metres out. Gets up slowly, plays the ball back. Now we've got a new acting half, Tom Clyburn for St Pat's. Tom Clyburn is there at dummy half, and he's replaced obviously the number 9 Hudson White. So the acting half is there, Clyburn. It comes away on the outside. They go straight and hard and put down the tackle. It could be the 18 Harrison Jones who's also out there. I'll check his number in a moment. The ball comes out the back. Here's Brannigan looking for a 40-20. Crikey, that's a good kick. It's not going to find touch, but it'll find the winger Lewis Murphy. But, gee, it's a good kick, and he comes back at speed, and he's put down on the tackle by Brent Davis, and he'll play the ball back now with an assist from David Howard. From acting half they go, Josh Ribbett. He's the sort of player, Darryl, who could open the game up because he's got pace, and as these bigger blokes get tired, he'd be the one that could sprint through. And this another little fella can do it, Loader. He sprinted from acting half, Nick Loader, and got it over the halfway. He'll play it back to the... no, he won't. Penalty, hand on the ball. The number 16, David Howard's penalised. And as a result, the penalty goes to the Panthers. This will put them right on the attack. The last time they got a penalty in a similar area on the other side of the field, they scored that try.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As they're starting to get tired around the rucks, particularly, those blokes are going to come into their own here. He reminds me of the fullback... reminds me of Nick Meaney a little bit, the bloke who plays fullback for the Bulldogs now. I think he's a good player, that young kid, and this kid just reminds me of him.
The number 4 with it now, Kevin Murray. Kevin's put down. Will play the ball back. Loader again. Then the pass comes away on the outside of the number 8. He goes forward, Brent Seeger. He'll play the ball back about 15 out from the goal, and that was a very good run by Brent Seeger. Loader again. The pass to Willie Wright. Then the ball comes back away. There's a new player on in the form of 15, Jed Betts. Jed Betts is put down on the tackle. He's got a brother called Jake. Jed and Jake playing together. He's not on the field just yet, Jake. Comes back away, blindside. Oh, it's been knocked on there. Dear, oh dear, the halfback. See, that's what they've done. That's 3 or 4 times now. They got inside the 10, and the ball's either gone to ground or gone to the opposition over a very innocuous kick. And Braden Wicks is the man that did it this time. He juggled it around for about 30 seconds and knocked it on. So they'll have the ball again. So they've had a number of opportunities to either draw level or go to the lead here, Panthers, but they haven't taken advantage of it. They trail by 10 points to 6 with about 12 minutes to go till half time at Carrington Park in Bathurst.
Well, they look the team most likely, don't they, really? I mean, on the other side, St Pat's really are on the back of anything that Brannigan does. Brannigan's thrown a couple of lovely passes to organise 2 tries for them, but I think the talent's more spread around in the Panthers side.
Anyway, the ball is with St Pat's now. Bathurst St Pat's, the Group 10 Anzac Day Challenge. And now they go, oh, geez, it's some solid defence. They can hit a bit.
Good offload.
Brent Seeger, he got the ball away late. They got it away on the outside, down the touchline. A little bit of a step there. That's a good step by the centre. Chris Kirby playing right centre in number 3. He got right inside the number 4, Kevin Murray. Now they'll send the ball out the back.
Halfback's back. That's a bloke who we thought might have broken his arm. He's back out there. Tim Holman.
He is too. Well, that's a Fonda Matassa type role. He's climbed out of the back of the ambulance.
He's come from nowhere.
It's kicked downfield. It'll be fielded now. Well, he looked like he popped his shoulder. Anyway, he hasn't, which is good news. He's been cleared to come back, and Josh Ribbett makes a run before he's claimed and dumped in the ground. There's the number 1, Gary Riley, so he's there as well. Here's the ball coming back away. The number 15 is going across field here for Panthers. Jed Betts, he's put down still inside the 30.
I reckon Jed Betts served me a Chico roll earlier today. I reckon it was him behind the
Hey, that is
food
him
stall.
too.
I reckon it is. Do you reckon it is?
And 3 Pluto pups as well.
Nice. I think that's him.
That is him. He's a volunteer here. He's a player, and this is fantastic. We've got a bloke that served Darryl, Chico rolls and Pluto pups playing in first grade.
Oh, you didn't even ask me for any tips.
Anyway, here's the ball. Well,
as in money.
You were getting him free anyway. That was the biggest blue they made the canteen. Get Darryl free food. Here's the kick coming from the number 6, Willie Wright. Luke, just go out to the canteen and make sure we're right there, will you? That is the young bloke that served Darryl. I'm sure it's him. He had a beard.
Looks like him.
He's a lovely young fella. It's not often you go to the football, get served a Chico roll and a Pluto pup and watch him play first grade.
Well, I've never had a Chico roll and a Pluto pup at any football before. Never.
You've broken your record today then.
Yes, I have.
Here's the ball.
Steak sandwich.
Yeah, the singer. Now, it comes away. So he's back out there, Tim Holman. And now, so's old mate back out there again, Mick Hawkins. He didn't have much of a breather.
It's all hands on deck here.
They're getting everyone out there. Mick's back out there, 43 and playing beautifully. Now, it comes back to the big number 10. He's trying to offload, but he's put down on the tackle, Jack Mackey. Jack will play the ball back. Now, here's the captain coach setting himself with a kick. Takes it from just on the 40. Low trajectory one. It's a good kick as well. It might be a 40-20 this.
I think it is.
I think you'll find it's a 40-20. I reckon his foot was inside the line. Let's go to the coach replay right now for Coach Hire and check it, Darryl.
Yeah, well, there's a kick that's not a 40-20. For me, he's just outside the 20-metre line.
Slight correction.
Well, I thought it was with the referee. That's why we should have a video and another ref.
No, you know what they've ruled? The touch judge ruled. I thought his trailing leg was inside the 40, but they said his trailing leg was outside the 40, and so it's not a 40-20.
I'm not sure it was that. I thought his gut might have been over the 40.
Anyway, it's 11 metres out, so it's certainly deep inside the 20, but it was a beautiful kick.
Yeah, it was. He's the whole.
I can tell you one thing, the fullback, Josh Rivet, would have not known whether it was in the 40 or not.
Yeah.
He just watched it go past him. He couldn't do anything about it. I think they've got away with one there. I reckon it was pretty close to a 40-20, but not to worry. Kevin Murray's got the ball now for these Panthers. And we still have about 8.5 to go, and it's still 10-6 for Lowe's Men's Wetters and Pats over Panthers. But here's a nice run through centre field by Blake Seeger, and of course Brent Seeger's brother. They'll play the ball back about 28 metres out from the goal line. Slow play the ball. Loader comes away, sends the ball away on the outside, trying to make ground through centre field, the number 3. He's going to flick it back on the inside this time. That was Blake Lawson. Back with Loader, pushing, now back to the fullback. Josh Rivet pushing away. He's throwing the ball, then they've knocked it on. The ball's on the ground. He's going to rule a double knock on. The first knock on against Panthers. Now, Panthers, the one thing I'd be saying that Doug Hewitt would be saying to them at half time, control the football, you win the game.
Just settle down. They look better. Again, it was on the back of a little offload there from Blake Lawson, who ventured over from the right side over to the left side. And again, he looks dangerous every time he gets it. He's a fair lump of a lad, but he's skillful.
Coach Hire says Michael are establishing a bunker hire department to bring to country rugby league when we call it. Yes, that'd be a good idea. Here's the ball fed away. The number 14, Tim Clyburn, is playing at halfback from that scrum, and I'm just looking where the other halfback has gone, seeing he came back onto the field. They play the ball. Well, he's gone to dummy half by the look of it, Tim Holman. And now, Clyburn's gone back to dummy half, and Holman's going to come back to be first or second receiver. They go from that position now. The ball comes away on the outside. That's the number 17, McCoy White. He's held in the tackle, McCoy, and put down. They'll need to really defend here. They want to make sure they maintain this score at the current level. And here's the big number 13, Mickey Hawkins. He comes forward and goes straight and hard, Mick. 43 years of age, Mick.
He'll play till he's 50.
Well, he's going great here, I tell you that. He's tough. Here's the ball coming out the back, and again it's Brennigan. Switches the point of the attack, a piggy-like move. Send it back away on the outside. Quick hands away. Now, that was knocked down, I think you'll find by... Yes, he's going to play the knock-on because it was knocked down by Panthers, and they regathered the ball. So they'll get a set of 6 here, about 25 metres out from the Panthers' goal line, St. Pat's, and they do lead by 10 points to 6 with about 6.5 to go to half-time. A try here would be catastrophic for the supporters of the Panthers because they've done well the battle back from 10-0 to 10-6. They've had a number of opportunities they've squandered, and this is an opportunity squandered again because they lost the ball just about on halfway, and now they're going to have to defend for basically 12 tackles.
Yeah, there's a nice bit of defence from Blake Lawson there too. They had an overlap, and he saw it. He knew he had to come up and in. He did that, and he shut it down. He knocked it down. They got the ball back, but it was try time then.
Mitch Squires, he made a run. Now it bounces away. Oh, they've lost the ball now. I don't know whether... Yes, it's been touched again. That'll be 6 to go again. It's been touched by, I think you'll find the Panthers, although he's going to say that it was not, 6 to go, so that was 0 tackle. So 0 tackle as Brennigan sends it out wide. The ball away to the wing 3/4. He's down the touchline. He's put down 5 metres out from the line on the far side of the field. Jordan Naylor. He'll play the ball back away now again. The acting half is there. Sends it back to Brennigan. Brennigan inside ball back away. It came to McCoy White. McCoy White for the line. He's really tough to stop, and he's held up 2 or 3 out from the goal line, McCoy. He'll play the ball back now and plays it 2 out from the goal line. The acting half is Clyburn. Away to Brannigan now for St Pat's. A bullet-like pass out the back. The kick downfield, but it's going to be cut off by the winger right on the goal line. He'll circle around and bring the ball back now. Lewis Murphy. He's gone straight through. He's over the 20. He's over the 30. He got the ball back away. They're down the touchline now. They streak away. And the number 4. Oh, he's into touch. He put a foot on the line. I thought, no. No, he didn't. The touch judge said no. They'll play the ball back now through Kevin Murray. It comes away on the outside. They just need to spin it. Willie Wright has gone inside the 20. They've got numbers. He threw a dummy. He's still going. He basketballs it over the top to the winger. It's Josh Small who gets down and puts the ball down.
I reckon he dropped it.
Let me have a look. No video replay. He's got to make it. Now it's a try. 10-all. 10-all is the try. I think the referee's right. Because no one's going to argue with him.
No one's going to know.
Hey, Chuck's got a problem with that one.
Bad luck, Chuck. There's no replay.
Yeah, bad luck, Chuck. Stick him up.
10-all the score.
Oh, it was a great try, Ray. What about the pick up and the pass and how that bloke stayed in on the wing? I've got no idea. I think it was Kevin Murray.
I'll give you a tip. He didn't.
I don't think he did either.
He put a foot on the line. The number 3 from St Pat's, Chris Kirby's looking at the touch judge and said, look at that. He put his foot in the line for sure. He was out. Yeah. I don't know about on the far side whether he got it down or not.
He's still arguing with him over there, Luke Brannigan, about the put down. So, but there's nothing you can do. And you know what? Given the fact there's no replay of it, I'm happy to go with it.
But the problem is, Darryl, we get to the NRL, and if there was a foot on the line, if he did drop it, it'd be replayed and replayed and replayed. Graham Annesley'd have a meeting on Monday about it. It'd be all over the papers, all over the radio, all over the TV. So the beauty about here is,
yes,
there's no replay. Well, there's no replay, and you won't see a replay of it. You might see it on the local news or something sometime later. But by the way,
who scored? By the way,
the winger on the far side, I think it was Josh Small, the number 5. Can I tell you something?
Yes, please do.
It's a remarkable day of rugby league broadcasting. We've been to a lot of places, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Yep. We've come to Bathurst for the second time this year. Second time in the last 10 years. But it's the first time that a first-grade player in the Group 10 competition has worked in the canteen and served the big man 2 Chico rolls, a steak sandwich, 2 Pluto pups and a bucket of chips, and then gone out and played a starring role.
That was an entree.
Because, yes, Jed Betts was working in the canteen earlier. Now, that's what bush football's all about.
Yeah.
First-grade player, they're probably rostered to go and work in the canteen. That's fantastic. I think it's really, really good. Really good. 10-all the score here, by the way.
You think it's good? I got it for nothing. It's magnificent. Is there any more left, by the way? They bought some
Here's
stuff.
the kick from the touchline. It's going towards the uprights. Waved away, remains 10-all. You know what? The little kicking tee boy. This is the other good thing about bush football. The kicking tee boy, he stood next door to the touch judge and waved his hands across and said, no goal, just in case the touch judge wasn't quite right. But anyway, little ball boy knew what was going on. And back we come to the centre of the halfway. All locked up at 10-all now with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining to half-time. So they've fought the way back from 10-0 down. They had to be the next to score, and they were. And so it is all locked up. 10-all, the Panthers and St Pats trying to win their 5th consecutive Anzac Trophy here. Panthers. Now that ball's gone deep and it's taken by the halfback Braden Wicks. Gives it back away. And that's our man Jed.
It's Jed.
Jed Betts.
Good name too. Good on you, Jed.
Chico Pluto Jed will play it back inside the 20. Now the ball comes back away. The big number 8. He goes forward. Brent Seagar. He's lost the ball. You've got to retain possession from the kickoff. Now let me look at the clock. There's 90 seconds to go. And they're going to have a scrum feed here at St Pat's about 28 metres out from the line of Bathurst Panthers. So,
well, Brannigan will have something up his sleeve. He's directing players to various positions he wants them. I don't know if they're listening, though.
Well, I'll tell you what he is. I know he's been everywhere and he's played NRL and he's,
he was a brilliant junior footballer.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Australian schoolboy. But here he is, little kick in behind them, but they've dropped back very quickly. It's going to be fielded here and taken over the dead ball line by the winger, Lewis Murphy. Touch in goal, I'd say. So they're going to come back. Let me have a look. 50 seconds to go. So they're going to have one more crack at them if he signals time off for the goal line dropout. And even though it's not hot, it's 16 or 17 degrees, these players are very much looking forward to the half-time break. And we've got 35 seconds to go. So the longer they wait to get the ball from back over the fence here at Carrington Park, and it's going to come back to Willie Wright. And Willie just throws the ball on the ground and he'll bring it back. 22 seconds to half-time. And he's not in any much of a hurry at all, Willie Wright, to get the ball back. And By the time he drops out, we'll have about 10 seconds to go. And there it is now. It's a good kick too. It's up over the 40. It's taken by Brannigan. And Brannigan...
Over field goal.
Yes, from 39 metres out. He's had a attempt the field goal. And he's given the ball straight back away to the number 3, who's going to go on the attack as a siren sounds Blake Lawson. He might live to regret that. Blake Lawson gave the ball away on the outside. He gave it back to the number 8, Brent Seeger, who was minding his own business, coming back onside. And all of a sudden, the ball is out of play and it's half-time. 10-all the score, which is probably a fair indication of the first 40 minutes of the game up here. So it was arguably not one of his finest moments there. I can only imagine Luke Brannigan was attempting what would be known as a Mark Riddell field goal from 39 metres out. And it went nowhere near the post at all. But anyway, half-time score here.